Myself, I'm a fan of rain, so naturally this is a very cool kind of area. So you'll notice that this area is flooded. There's a key, but we can't really do anything with it. There's a chain, so we know it's not for that one. This is flooded, as is this. However, if you go over to here, you will find these mechanisms. If you actually played around and beat this game, like I've said for the 100th time, you know what they do. So, I'm going to tell you, these are pumps. Each one corresponds to one of the 3 rooms that we just visited. So, the first one will pump out this hallway. Unfortunately, it is so dark in here that we will not be able to see what we're doing, or where we're going, or be able to do anything in the room. So we will hold off on that one. The second one pumps this area over here, which will be the main puzzle of the age. The third one pumps out this room with a key. So I'm going to pump the third one, simply because we can't go to the second one because it is pretty dark. But first, let's take a detour. We'll climb up the mountain. You may be wondering, maybe, why. If you are wondering, please go play Myst. So here we have a telescope. Now, we're looking for anything kinda on the horizon. And we have a lighthouse at direction 135. Pretty interesting. If I were you, I'd write that down in your notes. Now, you're also probably saying, well, there's little lines right there, but those are just for the ship. The ship was actually brought in by Sirius trying to write in a ship to the age. Actually, that might have been Atris. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. I have to reread the book again. But it's always a good idea to take down notes of anything interesting you might see. For example, this key. Maybe you forget that there's a key there, but you have it written down in your notes. You can remember, oh, well, from the start we just go left and we'll go to the room with the key. Since we already drained it, let's go downstairs and we'll see what we can find at the bottom. And we have a treasure chest of sorts. And what I did was drain it, and I'll close it back up so no more water can get back in. You should already know where I'm heading with this. So I'm going to go turn on the second pump so that we can go down further into the mountain. And the main goal of the game is to actually find all the red and blue pages. Now with no water in this, it floats to the top. So let's see if the key works. Sure enough, it does. But what kind of genius locks up a key with a key? That'll be an awkward moment right there. Hey, have you seen my keys? Oh, did you leave them in the locked treasure chest again? I guess we'll have to pump up the water. Okay. So this right here is a generator. This powers up the lights in the second area of the game. It does not, however, power up the lights of the first area because that area is underwater. We'll actually have to solve the main puzzle of this island. in order to turn those lights on. So now this cavern is pretty bright. There's an interesting little stone square right there. We'll come back to it in a minute. First, let's go in here. And we'll find an elegantly lavish room. Let's explore around for a minute and we'll see. This is actually Sirius's room in Stoneship. You'll see that he kind of likes the finer things in life. And here in the bottom drawer we find the red page. So we've already found one of the pages. We actually can only carry one page at a time. I'm not sure why, considering pages are extremely light. Maybe our main hero is anemic, but considering that the main hero is supposed to be you in this game. Alright, so now we have a giant compass. Now, if you know anything about directions and the compass angles, you'll be able to solve this puzzle pretty easily. If not, then let me explain. We'll start at north is 0 degrees. East will be 90. South will be 180. West will be 270. North will be 0 again. Simply because these are the directions of a circle, the actual degrees of a circle. And as you can deduce, since they're 90-degree angles, halfway is 45. So, can you think of any degrees that we recently found that might help us? Perhaps on the telescope? 135 maybe? Okay, so now that you know that 135 is the correct angle, you have to do a little bit of math. If 90 degrees is the distance of the two directions, from 0 to 90, 90, 180, 180, 270, 270 to 0, how many is in between? 45, right? So 135 minus 45 is 90. 90 plus 45 is 135, so that correlates to southeast. Click the button, and you will power the underwater lights. Should you decide not to, or you get the wrong answer, an alarm will sound, and it will shut off the generator. The only way to go back and retry the puzzle would be to go back to the first room and repower the generator. That will reset the puzzle. So now that we have that and we power the underwater light, let's see what's in the first room. And as you'll notice, each age has a more central puzzle, as well as several little puzzles that go with it. For example, in this age, the main puzzle was turning the water lights on. We had little puzzles before that, such as how to get the generator going, and trying to figure out the degrees through the telescope. And if you click this table, you will be returned to the library. Now, we got the red page, so let's return it to Sirius and see what he says.
Return. Thank you for bringing the red page. You must continue to help. must. Release me from this book which has become. Bring. I need more red pages, please. Beg. Don't waste time. Look. Don't. My brother. And I wrongfully imprisoned. Bring the red page to me.
So I know it's a little hard to hear because we haven't actually brought them enough pages for them to make sense, but the basic gist of what he's saying is that he was innocently imprisoned and he didn't do anything, and that his brother is the guilty one. His brother should be the one imprisoned, and that you should not bother with blue pages and just bring him the red pages. However, it's kind of up to us to decide whether he's telling the truth or not. So now that we're here again, let's go get the blue page. And there's one last clue we'll need in order to beat the game here. So let's go ahead and go into the other side. Many of you are probably wondering. You could have also taken the secret passage we just showed. Now that's kind of disturbing. Seems that Akanar has some sort of issues, but you could have seen that through the way he was acting in the Blue Book. Alright, so here is half of a page of notes. Now what I did is I wrote it down just as I had seen it, skipping lines where it rips, and that way when you find the other half it'll be much easier. You could just simply fill in the letters and the blanks and you'll have your note. So, blue page is on the bed. Believe it or not, we are actually 25% of the way through the game. Crazy, right? But like I said, most of this game is exploration and critical thinking about puzzles. Had you not known to correlate the data we got from the telescope to the compass on the hidden door, or not found the hidden door, or perhaps maybe you didn't know what to do with the treasure chest, this age would have taken much, much longer. That's why I really suggest you play through first. It not only makes it a lot more fun, but it also gives you a much better sense of accomplishment. So, let's return. And like I said, the next age will not be Channelwood as suggested by many people, but rather we'll be going to the mechanical age. But first, let's give Akanar his blue page.